And in Ukraine, officials say most of the southern port city of Mariupol has been destroyed. But a small group of soldiers is holding out, and President Zelensky vows that Ukrainians will, quote, fight absolutely to the end. Charlie D'Agata is in Nova Praha, Ukraine, with more. Charlie, good morning.
Good morning, Lana. Ukraine's prime minister says Ukrainian forces continue to make a stand in Mariupol, and it has not fallen to Russian forces despite renewed threats that any remaining fighters would be eliminated. There's not much left of Mariupol after weeks of an unrelenting Russian onslaught. But within this sprawling steel plant and the series of tunnels beneath it, a number of Ukrainian forces are still holding out, defying the ultimatum from Russia to surrender or die. Ukraine's foreign minister Dmytro Kuleba told Face the Nation Russia is razing the city to the ground at any cost.
The situation in Mariupol is both dire militarily and heartbreaking. The city doesn't exist anymore.
In Kharkiv, medics treating an injured woman were forced to dive for cover to save their own lives in the middle of an artillery attack. Amid the suffering and fear, worshippers gathered for the start of Holy Week in Ukraine. Easter is celebrated next Sunday. In Vinnytsia, southwest of the capital, Proto-Deacon Vladislav prayed for the lives of the injured and the souls of the dead. But the war has turned the church into a battleground too. After Russian Orthodox leaders gave their blessings to the war, and President Putin too. Father Vladislav says that makes the Russian Orthodox Church an accomplice. It's a position no church should ever take, he said. Russia started this war not defending their territory, but attacking the territory of our country. Even as the war rages on, he's praying for a peaceful Easter.
Is it more difficult to hope under the circumstances?
When people undergo all this grief and atrocities, and they still hope, still believe, still say they feel the hand of God that guides them, this belief becomes their reality.
Charlie. So Moscow gave defenders in Mariupol a midday deadline to surrender. That deadline has come and gone. How long can Ukrainian defenders still hold on to Mariupol?
Well, some military analysts say it could go on for weeks or months, partly because of where they are in that steel plant. It is designed to withstand attack. In fact, it's designed to withstand a nuclear attack. So there's a network of tunnels that go in between those areas in Mariupol underneath that steel plant. In addition, the fighters that are there have been dug in for some time. These are Ukrainian-backed fighters who have been defending Mariupol for a number of weeks anyway, through the worst of the fighting. And when the Ukrainian government says that they are going to stay there till the end, it's because they've made those promises. So they're there and willing to withstand whatever the Russians can throw at them. Now, in addition to the heavy artillery that's caused all of the damage that you've seen in Mariupol, now you're seeing Russian-backed separatists. I need to point that out. Russian-backed separatists and Russian military who are in the streets of Mariupol. But these guys are dug in. There may be 650 up to 800 fighters who are engaging with the Russian military forces, and they're being resupplied. So this could go on for a number of days or weeks, depending on how long they want to fight and how much damage they can do to that plant. But the Russians have it surrounded, and they have the firepower to take care of it. But there has been an opportunity, several opportunities that the Russians have given an ultimatum saying that, look, we'll let you leave alive if you surrender, but they have no intention of doing that.
It looks like a busy day there in Nova Praha, Charlie. We also mentioned that attack on Lviv. What more do we know about Russia's focus on the West? We had heard that they were redirecting all of their focus to the east, and now these attacks on Lviv. What's going on?
Yes, well, the Russians really are focusing most of their attacks in the east, and the Russian military say hundreds of attacks took place overnight, largely missile attacks, and largely focused to the east, that Donbass region around Luhansk and Donetsk and Mariupol for that matter. But yes, in Lviv, they haven't ruled out that they will continue to make strikes on military targets throughout the country, including Kyiv, including Lviv, far to the west. It's significant because it hasn't happened for about a month where we've seen a major attack in Lviv. According to Lviv's mayor, it took out a military facility, or at least targeted a military facility, and for some reason an auto repair plant. 6 or 7 people were killed in the attack. But I think what this underlines is the fact that Russia, although they may be focusing their attacks in the east, certainly when it comes to military aggression or trying to move forward in parts of the east, which is clearly the case after pulling out of the areas around Kyiv itself, but they still have air power. They can still reach anywhere in the country. That's what they pointed out in Lviv. So if there are military facilities, it doesn't matter whether it's concentrated in the east, if they have identified a legitimate military target in Kyiv, and I'm not saying this is a legitimate military target, but if they feel that way, it is certainly within reach. So there isn't any part of Ukraine, including where we are, that wouldn't be within reach of Russian military firepower if they decide to take those targets out.
All right, and we know that Austria's chancellor was saying that from his meeting with Putin, he believes that he thinks that Russia is winning the war. All right, Charlie, thank you. Be safe.